Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Ryan here, and today I wanted to kind of reboot my channel a little bit and do some potential trades that I'd like to see go down in the NFL. I'm going to be making more content after this video, so please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and let me know what videos you guys would like to see next. So in my first mock trade, I have the Patriots sending the Falcons pick 15 and Stephon Gilmore in exchange for pick 4 overall in the 2021 NFL Draft. Now to me, this would be a really funny trade due to the rich Super Bowl history between the Patriots and Falcons. But I think this trade would really mutually benefit both sides. If you're the Falcons with new head coach Arthur Smith, you have to realize that your key problem in 2020 wasn't Matt Ryan. It was the defense. I think Matt Ryan still has a lot left in the tank. I think he can still play at a high level. And I think if you're the Falcons, priority one is fixing this defense on all three levels. I think with this trade, you go ahead and pick up one of the better corners in the NFL in Stephon Gilmore, and then you can take a starting defensive player at pick number 15 of your choice, whether that be a linebacker or defensive lineman, and you really help your team by doing so. I think that there's not really a defender worth taking in the top 5, maybe other than Micah Parsons, but I still think that Atlanta would be a lot better to trade out of this pick, get Stephon Gilmore, and pick somebody else later. Meanwhile, I think the Patriots, after securing tight ends Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, have the perfect weapons for a young rookie quarterback. Now, I think Cam Newton will still start most of this season, and I think he's definitely the better player at first over any rookie quarterback they take at number 4, but I think Cam Newton would be a good teacher and would be good for a quarterback such as Justin Fields or Trey Lance to learn under. I think that New England should go ahead and, pick the best available at number 4 in the quarterback market. I think that this class is really good for quarterbacks, and I think that they should trade Stephon Gilmore away while he has the most value. And I really like this trade for both teams. I think both teams get better, and both teams help build for their future while not sacrificing too much in the now. With the second trade I'd like to see go down this offseason, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers trading for Gardner Minshew and a 6th-round pick in exchange for a 3rd-round pick heading back to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, to me, I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and I see that Ben Roethlisberger is basically at the end of his career. He's been a great Pittsburgh Steeler, but I do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers, even if Roethlisberger were going to play one more season after this one, are going to want to explore their options at quarterback. I think that Gardner Minshew would be an excellent backup to have in Pittsburgh to an aging Ben Roethlisberger. I think this is a great move. I think if you're the Steelers, giving up a 3rd-round pick and even getting a 6th back is not losing too much draft capital. And I think Minshew has a lot of potential. I think if he were to sit and learn behind a veteran quarterback such as Ben Roethlisberger, play at the end of games sometimes, kind of just get that experience under, a Mike Tomlin-led team, I think that would really do him well. And I think that, the Steelers are running out of options. And when you look at a team like the Steelers, who's, perennially pretty good in the playoffs and usually makes it there, you're not really going to have any kind of selection to take your successor to Ben Roethlisberger without trading up and giving a ton away. I've seen a lot out of Minshew that's really positive. I think that, he has tons of upside, and like I said, getting him in the right system with the right head coach and with the right weapons around him, I think it's worth a shot for Pittsburgh. I think worst comes to worst, you move down a couple rounds and win your draft picks. I really think, if you're the Steelers, you don't have much to lose here, and this could be Ben Roethlisberger's successor in Pittsburgh. And meanwhile, from Jacksonville's side, we all know that the Jags are going to take Trevor Lawrence at pick 1 in this year's draft. I think that Minshew, as a backup who was a starter, I think he does have a lot of trade value, and I think getting a 3rd-round pick out of it is a lot for a former 6th-round pick in Minshew. I think it's a great move for both teams. It makes a ton of sense to just get this done now and not really let the whole Minshew-Trevor Lawrence thing brew it all in Jacksonville. I think you ship him out, and I think you bring in a veteran to help coach up Trevor Lawrence and try to, win the most games you can in 2021. Next, I have tight end Zach Ertz being dealt to the New York Jets in exchange for a 2021 fourth-round draft pick. To me, I think that this is a really good move for the Jets to go ahead and secure a great proven tight end for their team in 2021. I'm assuming that a rookie quarterback is going to be playing here, but any quarterback appreciates a good tight end safety blanket. And I think that Zach Ertz is a great leader as a player and is really going to elevate the rest of the tight ends in New York and just really help improve their offense from what it was a year ago. Meanwhile, I think if you're the Eagles, you have a guy like Dallas Goedert waiting in the wings behind Ertz to really be the number one tight end in Philly. And I think before Zach Ertz gets too old, you go ahead and get some value out of him in the draft. You're going to try to use this draft, if you're Philly, in my opinion, to surround Jalen Hurts with the best possible weapons and pieces he can have. And I think that, go ahead and maximize value on Ertz before it's too late. And, if you're the Jets, you really improve your offense with this trade. With this mock trade, I have the Detroit Lions trading for Odell Beckham Jr. and sending the Browns a second and fourth round pick, a second this year and a fourth next year, in exchange for him. Now, I think that Odell is not going to like being in Detroit, if we're just all being honest here. If I could put him anywhere, I'd definitely send him to the Packers because they really need another receiver. But the Packers just seem really unwilling to budge, and with a deep receiver class, I don't really think they're going to trade for him. Meanwhile, Detroit has so many draft picks after the Matthew Stafford trade that I think getting an established receiver like Odell would be really helpful to them and to Jared Goff in year one with the Lions. After letting Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay walk, you really have no receiving threats other than TJ Hawkinson left on this team. So I know Odell probably won't like going to Detroit, but I think that if you're Detroit, this is a really good move. You're bringing in Odell Beckham Jr., who is very personable and is going to bring a lot of people, into the stadium every Sunday just to see Odell play. It's going to sell a lot of Lions Odell Beckham Jr. jerseys, and I just think it's a really smart move to get a player with the whole Dan Campbell knee-biting mentality on your roster. And I think this is a good trade for the Browns too because, statistically speaking, Baker Mayfield has played better when Odell is off the field than when he's on the field. And I think that Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry are both good enough to be number one receivers in the NFL. And I don't think being on the same team really elevates them together as it did at LSU in college. So I think that the Browns could easily take Odell Beckham Jr.'s replacement in the draft. This is a really receiver-heavy class. I just think that the Lions should go ahead and trade for him and just, get a veteran in the room after they let all their guys walk. I think Detroit may even still take a receiver after doing this. But again, I think Odell is, one of the NFL's most popular players. And I think that Cleveland's offense would benefit not having Odell because of, Baker feeling the need to force the ball to him. So I think this is a weird one, but to see Odell in a Lions jersey, but it would be really interesting. So I'd be excited to see this. For my final mock trade of this video, I have quarterback Jordan Love and pick 29 overall being dealt to the Washington football team in exchange for pick 19 overall in this year's draft. If you look at this from both angles, starting with the Washington football team, you have to realize that at pick 19, you are not in position to take any of the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft class. And I think instead of, giving up a lot of capital to trade up or, rolling the dice on a Kyle Trask or Kellen Mond at pick 19, go ahead and trade back some spots. You bring in Jordan Love after trading back from 19 to 29, and Jordan Love has a lot of potential. And I don't only like Jordan Love here because he has a lot of potential, but if you look at him, he's going to sit under a quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is starter level capable, but also understands that he's not the long-term answer for the football team. If you go back and watch the tape on how he interacted with Miami rookie quarterback last year, Tua Tagovailoa, I think that the football team understands that Ryan Fitzpatrick's there to be more than just a starter. So I think they go ahead and get their mentor in Fitzpatrick, they get their quarterback of the future in Jordan Love, and they only have to move back 10 spots to do it. Meanwhile, if you're the Packers, last year in the NFC Championship, I think you realized that your biggest need is wide receiver. You need somebody to complement Davante Adams in that offense. You went and re-secured Aaron Jones in the offseason. Now what are you going to do? I think you have to move up in this draft class, even though it is receiver rich, to take one of the better receivers after guys like Waddle, Chase, and Devontae Smith are off the board. So I think you trade up to pick 19. And look at all the teams picking behind them. You have the Bears at 20, Colts at 21, Titans at 22, Jets at 23, and Pittsburgh at 24. So you're going to have a lot of teams who are receiver needy picking right behind you who could take your wide receiver 2 of the future off the board. Instead, I think you trade up with the football team and go ahead and get that draft selection and pick the receiver of your choice. I think that it was way too early to draft Aaron Rodgers' replacement, and I think that not having somebody to help in the NFC Championship on the field and instead having someone on the bench who didn't even make an impact this year was a bad draft pick for the Green Bay Packers. So you go ahead and maximize on his value before teams can really evaluate if he's going to be a boom or bust quarterback in the NFL. I think you just move up and you try to maximize, your Super Bowl window now and not let any more time go to waste by not giving Aaron Rodgers good weaponry. Thank you everybody for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe as I'm going to be posting more NFL content based around free agency, the draft, and predictions for the 2021 NFL season. If you have any trades you'd like to see happen, please put them in the comments below. I'll try to reach out and give my thoughts on them. And again, these are just my potential trades that I like to see happen, but let me know which ones you guys want to see. So thank you very much, and hope to see you guys here again soon.